Carbonites Gaming.
Welcome back, Knights, to another Summoner's War video with myself, TorchHealer. Before we were tinkering around with some summons last week and then the crystals the week before, we were still doing our Rift Beasts. So I figured we only have the Light and Dark left. I'm not as comfortable, I guess my team isn't as successful on the Light Beast, but we'll look at the Dark Beast today. So let's pull it up. So I'll show you my normal team, and that's it. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but every monster has its own kind of special thing that it does. So the fire one calls up minions that can deal damage. You just have to do AoE to clear them off. The water one will freeze. It's based on attack bar as to how quickly that freeze leaves, or how much HP it kind of takes away from you. The wind one has kind of this electric shock that actually deals damage every turn you take until you get rid of it. But when you get rid of it, it deals damage back to the boss. So the light dark don't have as bad. Essentially, the Dark Rift Beast is just like Necro. You want as many hits as you can get. Its kind of passive power that it does is it will actually entrap one of your monsters. It'll imprison it, I guess. And it takes like 30 hits onto the beast itself to clear up that effect. So let's get this started. So that's my team. I think all of them are on violent runes, and that's what I do. It's just as many hits as I can get all the time. And the twins were amazing for this. So essentially build every twin you can to put in here, but still have some healing, a damage buff, an attack buff, and a defense break. So that's why I have my panda in there. He's got some healing, offers a defense break, and the Colleen, which is yet again a 2-star monster, is coming in clutch with those heals and that attack buff when she's not in prison. So as you saw, she was just kind of in that imprisoned state. I forget what they call it. See if we can find it here. Soul Chain effect. Okay, so that's not that bad. You just have to hit the monster 30 times to get rid of it, right? You have some violent procs on your monsters, and you've got the twins. They're hitting like 4 or 5 times each turn. So it's really not that difficult to get rid of that. The thing is all of my twins are built quite slow. So I don't know why, I just have them all on attack, crit damage, attack. So they're pretty squishy and pretty slow. This team usually runs around, I don't know, like 90% for triple S. Sometimes they get double S, sometimes they fail. And like I've said before, that's just kind of part of the game. Sometimes you're going to fail. I did build the Fire Undyne to test in the wind, in the wind rift, which may not have been my best idea. I'm hoping that skill ups help, but right now it was kind of a waste of a lot of resources, which is not a good thing. But that's for a different time. So as you can see, that the Soul Chain effect will happen on different monsters depending. I don't know what causes it to be on whichever monster, but I usually hope that it ends up on my Colleen, because my panda does a lot more kind of helpful stuff for me. But there you have it. First run, triple S. And once again, it's not huge numbers in these triple S's. I'm not doing 5-6 million, nothing like that. This is still a free to play account, and I have never actually put effort into ruining teams up for this. I always just kind of have runes laying around, and that's what I put my monsters on. I've thought about doing a re-ruining video, but I don't think there's enough time in the world for me to do that. I think I'm up to like almost 96-star monsters now, and I don't want to go through all that. That's too much effort for me. But yeah, so like for me, the points of advice on this, especially for newer players getting into it and looking into it, obviously you don't have to go for triple S. You don't have to go for double S. the point is, if you're getting these, you're looking for that light dark homunculus, or whatever else you might need them for. If you're getting, those reappraisal stones every week, that's another great reason to kind of farm this. I'm not sure. I think reappraisal stones don't require light dark, but it's something to farm, and you can still get those like fight runes, tolerance runes, etc., etc. But the big things for me are, most of the time, if you're a beginner, you're going to be building a Colleen for R5 as like part of your first R5 team. You'll probably be building the Fire Panda as part of your first R5 team. So right there, you already have your front two-line monsters, right? The Panda, you want a bit of HP, a bit of defense, a lot of defense. The Colleen, you want some HP, some defense. So they're a tanky front line. The back line, I just use twins all the time. It's essentially anything that has multi-hits, and enough where you can cleanse off that soul chain in 1 or 2 rounds, right? You want to get rid of that fairly quickly so you can utilize all the monsters that you have on your team, right? That kind of seems like it makes sense. So with this is kind of what I normally want, because now that Panda's going to revenge, and he's going to get 3 hits right away. 2, 3 hits? Yeah, so 3 hits right away, and then takes his turn. So he essentially gets 7 hits in himself, between 6 and 7 hits himself, while Colleen is under that soul chain effect. But yeah, I don't know. I know there's teams that run a lot more like heavy damage ideas, and I know that the heavy damage, when we do the light one next week, that's a heavy damage one, and that's kind of why I have an issue with it. I don't have fast, heavy damage dealers, and speed is part of a thing when you're running the rifts as well. But I don't have, like, I know Perna's pretty good, it has an amazing attack lead as well, but I think I just use the twins as well. I think I've got twins. I think I have a Lagmaron in there just to try and get that Squall in. I did rune up my Taor, and I got it to 6-star, but there's no skill ups on it. I haven't skilled up any of the monsters that you saw me pull last week. I haven't thrown any Devilmons in. I have 11 of them. I'm trying to figure out who I want to put them on. And just as kind of a forewarning, Poseidon and I were chatting a couple days ago, and we were trying to figure out whether or not we should continue to do the summon videos. So leave your 2 cents down in the comments. If you guys like the summon videos, just give a thumbs up, right? Obviously give a thumbs up for the video anyways, but just like let us know, keep the summons or get rid of the summons, or let us know your guys' thoughts on that. So I had a couple scrolls. I ended up getting a legendary scroll from World Boss, and then I did TOA, and I was just kind of like, whatever. If we're not going to do summons, I'll just get rid of them. And I should have been recording. So I ended up pulling a Wind Demon, Mephisto, which has actually kind of helped part of my arena team. He's, once again, no skill ups on him either, but he, a lot of the arena defenses nowadays, and I might do a video on this as well. Once again, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. So I know there's a lot of videos out there for popular G1 arena defenses and stuff like that, and that's all well and good. I know I like watching G1 content, I like watching G3 content, but I'm not that type of player. My account is not at that level, so I have been finishing C1 consecutively for a few months now, every week in arena. But I've been contemplating looking at kind of the popular Fighter 3 defenses, and what might be needed to pass those. And I know with that Mephisto, there's a multi-revive team that's been a really big pain in my butt. Usually I use I can show you my arena team after, but we'll do one more run of this, and then we'll kind of continue on with that. But just let me know if you guys want to see kind of what teams are looking like in Fighter 3, if that's kind of where you guys are. As beginners, you'll be in, Challenger, whatever. Usually, beginners can usually get up to Fighter 1 fairly easily. But yeah, let me know, and we can look at arena teams, and I'll give you my 2 cents, but it won't be, it won't be like anything you'll see at the Summoners War Championship or anything like that. But just let me know down in the comments, and then we'll continue with this video. So with the team, all the multi-attacks, I don't have any skill ups. Actually, I think my Shane is skilled up, but that's it. So I got the free Chakram Dancer and Boomerang Warrior skins that everybody got. So hopefully you're checking your events to make sure that you're collecting those things, because that was a couple of hundred crystals, a couple scrolls, stuff like that. So make sure you're checking your events for that. But the big thing is a tanky front line, because he's always going to what is it? I forgot, soul chain. He'll soul chain the front line. So you can put some damage dealers in the back. They're a little squishier, and you'll deal that damage while that front line is just taking a beating. And that's why I like having a bit of extra HP and defense. Like that panda is only taking like a fifth of his HP, taking that entire attack by himself. So that's all right. But as for beginners, there's tons of monsters that you can look at if you don't have the twins, right? You can look at the Nine-Tail Fox, right? The Wind Nine-Tail Fox is a fusion monster, and it's got multi-hit on the first skill, self heal on the second skill into a shield, and then big damage as well as a defense break on that third skill. So that might be an option for you. Other ones are, anything with, I would say, multi-hits on the first skill. So even Lapis, right? Everybody gets a Lapis right off the bat. 3 hits on that first skill. So not a bad option. And like I said before, I don't always get triple S in this. Sometimes it's double S, sometimes it's A plus if I fail. But this team is starting to get a lot more consistent for me, so I'm pretty happy with that. We don't need that. So all in all, for that Dark Rift Beast, as many hits as you can, right? The twins are amazing. You get a tanky front line, even if you need to run 3 in the front, right? Like if you put, say, a Chasun, because there's no elemental advantage or disadvantage, you can run a Chasun, a Colleen, and a Fire Panda. And that gives you a couple of attack buffs. It gives you enough heals that it should be able to hold you through, and then you just put a couple twins in the back, 3 twins in the back, or anything that does multi-hits on a first skill, because that is obviously going to be the best. Yeah, so like I said, I'll show you a couple of the monsters here. I did rune up my my Tayor. I'm not overly impressed with Tayor. I just kind of like having him, so I put him on these runes just to get him to level 40. I did put my Chow on my old Camila set, so it's a Violent Nemesis. Who else did I pull? Oh, yes. So this is my Ritesh. I want him on Will. He's not on Will, but he's got. I need more defense. I want a lot more defense on him. I want like 400 more, 500 more defense on him. But he's hanging around 45,000 HP, and he's just under 200 speed, so I'm okay with that. And then last but not least, Mephisto. Once again, I just put him on ruins. I'll even show you, just to get him leveled up. But I do use him already in my arena team. So yeah, like I said before, leave a comment below if you want me to go through some of the arena teams that I look at and the comps that I use for those teams. I'd be more than happy to do that. And once again, give a thumbs up for the video. Check out our Twitter or our Discord or Twitch, twitch.tv/carbon_nights. And yeah, just keep in touch. It's really fun for me to hear kind of what you guys like to see, because I'd love to jump in and give my 2 cents on that. And I know a lot of other people do in the Summoners War community, but it really kind of gives me ideas, and it actually encourages me to play the game more, right? Make a little more risk and see what other monsters are doing. Obviously, I'm not going to be the first one once the patch comes out to build a monster, have it 6-star, and do a video on it, but at the end of the day, I can still give my 2 cents on it, and I would love to do that as long as you guys are still willing to pay attention to my 2 cents. But yeah, once again, thanks for watching. I'll be back next week with the Light Rift Beast, and I'm really going to work on that team so that hopefully I can do you guys a little bit of justice on it. But with that being said, until next time, Knights, keep those shields up. Well, Knights, you made it all the way to the end. You know what that means. You've won the chance to watch another one of our videos, or perhaps even subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.